Let's talk about some interests. I know you're into cars. Where did that passion come from?
I have no idea. I honestly wasn't. I think Nick was a big influence on my interest in cars, because honestly, he's like originated whenever I started driving. Like I started off, my first car was
Relatively early, right, in age.
yeah, I like just under 17. Yeah, so I started driving pretty early. I think probably like 16 and 3/4. And I got my first car. I bought it myself. I bought a 2009 Lexus IS 250, and it was a cool little car. It was like a treat. It was really nice. I really appreciated that car. It was a really nice car, and I got it for a good deal. And I was driving it around, and I loved that car. It'd get me where I was going. It was really nice and stuff. And I got into an accident, and the car was totaled, and I got paid out for the car, and then I had to shop for a new car. And there's a faster version of the Lexus IS 250 called the Lexus IS 350. And when I bought that car and like felt the difference between the cars, like it just like made me realize that cars don't just have to be transportation. They can also you can have some fun with the car.
Oh god, that's where everything goes downhill from there.
You gotta be responsible with it too. I mean, I'm not saying go out and drag race and be unsafe and stuff. I'm just saying you can really enjoy a fast car that's quick with the throttle.
So before we get into the aspects of the car and just testing its limits, I know you're into car parts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So for me, I don't like cars because it's really complicated. But you seem to like really complicated things, right? School was not your thing, but yet you really like things that are contrary to the average person. Average people don't know all the shit you probably do about cars.
Yeah.
So there has to be some kind of start. I know you said Nick was an influence, but what's so interesting to you about just the car's features, and we'll talk about the cars.
As soon as me and Nick both got cars, first thing we wanted to do was start changing shit.
Right, so customization.
Yeah.
So where do you think that because we talked about with Brian, it's nostalgia. I love to customize too, right? But there's a point for me. I like to create. I want to start something from the bottom. I don't want to touch what something already is and try to figure it out, because my mind is just not I can solve puzzle pieces, but I can't it's hard to explain. But cars are very complicated things. All right, you have to so where was that learning process start? You want to customize a car, where'd you go? You just went on YouTube and started looking at
dude, basically the internet is one of the most powerful tools of this century. You can learn anything you want on the internet, whatever it is, whatever it has to do with anything you want to learn, you can learn it. Now is the era for you to utilize the internet.
Right.
Everything is on there, dude. You can get any information you want to get a hold of.
For sure.
So anytime I wanted to change something in my car, I'd look up how do you do da 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 da, how do you do this and that. I have a problem with my car needs an oil change. Go on YouTube, how do I do an oil change on a put in the year, put in the model, and everything's on there. I need to replace my headlight bulb. I want to buy new headlights and switch out the headlights and taillights. You learn how to do it once, now you have a new skill you can use. And I just like I said, I love new shit, bro. I love learning new things. And cars are so cool because that was one thing me and Nick loved to do together. Anytime we were doing something to our cars, we would pull it into the garage and
the infamous garage time. It's where's Nick and David? Oh, they're downstairs in this garage changing parts.
Yeah, just doing some shit, dude. And it was always fun. We'd paint our wheels, we'd paint our badges, we would paint our brake calipers, change our brake pads, put on new rotors. Something goes wrong, we would try and replace it ourselves or fix it. Minimize costs and learn a new skill. So it was always fun, yeah.
So customization though, so I didn't really finish what I was saying earlier because I just ran on a tangent. But we talk about games and shit like that where customization was. We talk about games and shit like that where customization was a big thing. So for me, games Club Penguin, Beyblades, that's where it really intrigued my interest. That something can be more than what is. You could customize it to how you want to look like. So
personalize it.
Yeah. So is there anything like that for you? I know you weren't to Beyblades. You were with us, obviously, but anything that you kind of, or does that have any importance to you, or was that kind of just
games customization? Do it always. You always want to personalize your shit and make it unique. I don't really like one thing that's like big for me on cars is most people like the average Joe on the street, like their car looks like every other car that was made the same.
Right.
You know, like they didn't do anything. Their car looks exactly the same as all the other cars on the street. Like I do some shit to my car here and there that just gives it some uniqueness.
So that's the want to be different, right?
Yeah.
But also like you run the lines of like, you know, a cop. Not only every other person looking at your car like, oh, like that's a nice car, that like a car that a cop would be able to see you more than another car, because every other car looks like every other car. But your car doesn't look like every other car. You know what I mean? So that's like, as soon as my dad's super overprotective, right? So it's like, I want a red car. He's like, you're not getting a fucking red car. Because, not my wife. It's like, because cops attract to like if they see a red color on the street, like that's usually like.
That's funny you say that. That's actually a myth. You know, have you heard that red cars are like the #1 ticketed cars?
Yeah.
That's not true. It's white cars. Red cars are on the lower end of the spectrum. That's just something people say.
I'm sure. I mean, I don't know, but like red's my favorite color. So
my mom told me about that statistic, and I looked it up because I was like, no way, bro. And I looked it up, and white cars are the most like.
Really?
Yeah, the most ticketed cars in America. And it's interesting because you think maybe red, right? Because red's flary, you know, it stands out. But white cars are, maybe it's because there are more white cars produced than red cars, you know? That could be it, but I don't know.
It seems like I'm getting a red car, Pops.
Dude, do what you want. Get a red car, bro.
You might just have to customize my car too in the process.
Exactly.
Okay, so go back into the racing though. I know you're one of those road ragers.
Road ragers. I've had a couple of road rage incidents. Dude, I had a gun pulled on me once and I didn't even do anything. Did I tell you about that?
Yeah, let's not get into that.
No?
But like, tell me about like I don't know, like obviously you want to test limits, so you test limits for cars. So what do you like? You know, you just find an open street and race, or what's
I wouldn't say I just find an open street and race. I do kind of drive fast, and a lot of people say I drive recklessly. But I just like to get where I'm going fast, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know, I like can't stand sitting in traffic. My car's made to roll, you know?
Yeah, but that rolling can get you
into a lot of trouble, yeah.
Or yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I do like to drive. A lot of people say I drive recklessly. I disagree. I drive fast and I drive spiritedly. But I'm a very safe driver. Like, I'm always paying attention to everything that's going on.
But you gotta understand, like, it's not always up to you though. Like, there's a bunch of dumbasses on the street, so it's like the safety isn't in you, because like obviously I know like you're very calculated. Like, you'll take like the turns, but it's like in the instance that like something happens to somebody else and that now affects you, right? Because you're the one that's taking the risk, and then somebody else might take another risk, and that's how an accident happens.
Yeah. I mean, I like to drive like everybody on the road's trying to crash into me. I know that sounds stupid, bro, but if you're just like always looking out for dumbasses doing some stupid shit, like majority of the time you'll be able to keep yourself out of an accident.
Yeah, majority, but how many cars have you crashed now?
I've crashed a couple, only one of them was my fault though. And I know that's hard to believe, but on record, I'm not at fault in any of these accidents, because I was following the rules of the road.
I mean, what can you say? Like, no, like, I know your parents are like pissed, like, well, how the fuck can you crash a car? But like, if you're driving the car, you're just gonna do what you do. Like, there's no stopping you at this point.
Bro, anytime you drive, I know this is gonna sound so stupid to you, but driving faster to me is safer than driving slower. Cause if you think about it, this is gonna sound dumb, and like, just hear me out, okay? If you're driving on the freeway and you're driving slow, you're going like 65, you're going 70, you're going the same speed as all the other cars, you're giving all these cars around you an opportunity to do some dumb shit to fuck you up. But if you're passing all these cars a lane away, you know,
that's actually not that bad of a. I actually can agree, not agree with you, but like I can understand what you're saying.
Like I don't know, like. I know it sounds stupid because I'm hearing myself say this, and it does sound stupid.
What to ask this question to the people listening to this?
Yeah, like, I don't know. I feel like driving faster might not be safer, but...
In your regard.
Yes, I feel more comfortable driving faster. I don't feel comfortable driving slow next to all these retards. Bro, there are some stupid-ass people on the road. There are some dumb-ass
I almost had an incident today, bro. There was a truck with 2 lanes, right? And he sees the lane closing, but he's not switching lanes. And so like I'm just thinking like there's another lane there because it's like the guy's not moving. So like I don't know, like is he gonna stop? Like I don't know what's going on. The dude at the last second switches into my lane because like the lane's closing, and I'm like, bro, yeah, merging. I'm like, bro, like what? It's like a big ass. He's moving slow as fuck. It's on the freeway. I'm like, you can't be serious, bro. Like he's like if you're like he had to be asleep or something. You know what I mean? Like, and so that's always scary.
One thing that's cool. Did you know that trailers have a huge blind spot? They have like something crazy like an 18-foot square foot blind spot.
Yeah, I know you have to be really skilled to drive one of those things.
And you gotta be careful around them, bro. Cause they have a huge blind spot. You gotta be also like I'm more attentive to stuff like driving in somebody's blind spot is dangerous. Driving next to a truck is pretty dangerous because they have an enormous blind spot. They don't always see you. You gotta make sure they see you. You know.
Right.
So you always gotta be careful around these big ass trailers.
Okay. So is there anything else you wanted to mention about cars?
Not really. I love driving cars. That's one of the things that makes me want to be successful is to have nice things. Like I don't want to be like insanely rich, but I want to be able to live comfortably, you know, afford nice things like here and there. I want to have a nice house, I want to have a nice car, and I want to have a good family. And those are the three things that I want in life.
That's respectable. And what's the dream car?
The dream car, I mean, do you know much about car models?
Bro, I'm so like out of it, like shoes like that. Like I can tell you every shoe. I can't tell you like the car on the street.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I wouldn't say I have a dream car right now, but one car that I would love to have, it's like $70,000-$80,000. It's a Mercedes AMG GLA 45.
Yeah,
it's very nice.
That's a lot of words, but I mean like I have like cars that I obviously want I want a Range Rover Soldier, whatever, like the cars you see on the street, like in that red maroon color, like that's the sickest car. And then Lamborghini Urus, like that, those
Lamb truck, bro. Yeah, those are sexy.
Two epitomes, but okay, so